All right. All right. Well, hello there, and thank you for joining me for today's 15-minute franchisee interview. My name is Jenna. I am a development director here for Right at Home. So let's go ahead and get started and go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone.
Hi, Jen. It's great to be here. I'm Jim Gall. I've been in the Right at Home system since 2012. I've got one territory, and we cover about 7 different counties in the Great Lakes Bay, Mid-Michigan region.
All right, go Michigan. So, with that being said, why don't you tell us a little bit, Jim, about your background before becoming a Right at Home owner?
Yeah, so I moved to Midland in 1985. I started out at Dow as a technologist. So I was at the bench mixing chemicals, making new things, and progressed over 27 plus years with a series of different roles in tech service and business research, business development, and marketing. And so I did a lot of different things over those years.
All right. So, in thinking about coming from that industry to Right at Home, um, why did you choose Right at Home in senior care?
Yeah, well, I had a great career at Dow, and at one time, my time was up. We faced a reorg, and I decided that I'd like to really do something different with the second half of my career. And I set out with kind of my own personal mission statement of I really wanted to feel great at the end of the day, for what I did. And one step in front of another, and it eventually led me to Right at Home.
Wow. Okay. And so it really sounds like fulfillment at the end of the day is what was important to you in that next chapter.
Yeah, it sure was. I mean, I had a great career, and but I was sort of missing some of that fulfillment. I wanted something that I was going to be able to help people with whatever I did,
Mhm.
and as I got digging into Right at Home and senior care, and it reminded me of things that had happened in the past with my life and my family.
Mm.
I knew that this would be something that I could help out a lot of families, and it'd be a great second career. And what I found out along the way that we're also working and helping with a lot of people that we employ.
Mm. Wonderful. So, can you walk us through what a typical day looks like for you?
Well, after almost 13 years, there aren't necessarily any typical days, but I'm blessed to have a great staff, and that staff handles almost all of the day-to-day activities that are necessary to run a home care company. So they do intakes of new clients, they manage client care, they go out and recruit and hire new caregivers. They implement retention programs that reward and recognize our staff, and all the other little things that has to happen, during the day. So that leads me to really work on more things that I would call working on the business. So,
Mm.
working on strategy, setting goals, um, working with other organizations for bigger opportunities for growth for the business.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you for sharing. And when you do think about the support structure that Right at Home provides owners, what part do you find has been the most valuable?
Well, it was great to start. I mean, going back to Right Start back in 2012, I
Mhm.
learned a ton. It got me off and running, quickly. But things have just continued to progress and improve, ever since then. Right at Home, I think, has been zeroing in on the experience that our clients and their family members have, and how do we improve that. The same thing with our employees, and how do
Mhm.
we make Right at Home the employer of choice for professional caregivers. If I were to pick something like that, it would probably be the employee stuff, because our employees are awesome. We can't do what we want to do in regards to fulfilling our mission
Mhm.
without them. And I really love the programs that have been put in place to help recognize, reward employees, and I think it's really paid off with the quality survey data that we have, and then of course just recently being certified as a great place to work the second year in a row.
Yes, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing. And, when you talk about those experiences, I'd love for you to share a story that comes to mind of a feel good moment where you knew you or an employee made an impact on someone.
Yeah, sure. There's been so many to pick out just one is difficult. But I'll go back to kind of the early days.
Mhm.
We got a phone call from a hospital, discharge planner. Had a gentleman going home on hospice. His last wish, his family's wish, was to get him home.
Mm.
And we scrambled. We got somebody up there. We did the intake. Got the gentleman home, and then he passed pretty quickly. Um, and even though we're sad about him passing, his family was so grateful for us helping to get him home to fulfill his wish.
Mm. I love that. And, I think there's so many of those stories out there, like you said, just
Yeah,
knowing that you're making a difference. And we currently have prospects who are looking at right at home. And as an owner, what would be a piece of advice that you could share for those prospects looking at right at home right now?
sure. I think the biggest thing is, as a potential new owner in any system, whether it's right at home or it's a fast food system, or whatever, if you're going to go into a system like right at home, utilize the system. You're paying a nice chunk of change to
Mhm.
buy into the system, to buy a territory, or certainly to buy an ongoing business, and take advantage of that. Utilize that. As I mentioned earlier, Right Home Corporate has put some amazing programs together in regards to better care for our clients, our employee experience, the other tools and processes and procedures to help your business run better.
Mhm.
Take advantage of that. Talk to other owners, because even though the right at home stuff is great,
Mhm.
there's hundreds of independent owners out there that also have all gone through many of the experiences that you're going to go through as a new rent a home owner, and use the system. Go to home improvement, which was just a couple of weeks ago, celebrating our 30th year, which was
Yes,
fantastic.
yes.
Join a performance group and get an opportunity to learn firsthand from some of the other owners, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel and
Mm.
the cost of reinventing the wheel. So get involved with the system and stay involved.
Fantastic tips. Thank you so much, Jim. This has been an absolute pleasure, and congratulations on your success. And also, thank you for your commitment to fulfilling the wishes for those in your community.
Thank you. It's been great.
All right. See you later.
See ya. Bye bye.
Bye.